Hello and welcome to EDT 520 for the summer of 2016. I'm Dr. Johanna Prince and I'm looking forward to working with you this summer. Thanks so much for those of you that have already responded to the survey. And those of you that haven't, if you can get that in, it's really helpful for me to get a sense of where you're coming from. The goal of this course is really to give you a bit of a theoretical foundation for how can technology be used to support teaching and learning, and to not just explore specific applications for it, but really to ground it in why does it matter, how is it connected to student engagement and student learning, and looking at that student perspective across the spectrum of young students and the lens of pedagogy, and then up through adult learners and the lens of andragogy. And I think you'll find throughout the course that regardless of the educational setting that you're working in, that there's going to be pieces of this that resonate with you. That being said, you are all adult learners, and I really encourage you to think about how can you make this class meet your professional goals. So please be in touch with me. Email is typically the quickest way to get a hold of me. You're always welcome to call me as well. If there's ways that we need to look at setting up things so that you will have more success. So in this first week, the goal for the course is really to get you into our learning management tools. And as I said before, we'll use Blackboard, which you can see in the background of this video, for a large part of our course. And then that, I'll say this, with Blackboard, that is where most of the content that I post is going to be, and where you'll get your instructions and readings. Where you'll do your work is in our Google Classroom site. And I'll talk to you about how you navigate there. So first I wanted to give you a little tour of the Blackboard site. When you come in, there'll typically be a welcome message here. Try and update that once a week to just kind of help us move along. And I use a Tuesday morning to Monday night week, looking for your work to be due that following Monday night. You're always welcome to submit early, but that's sort of the point at which I'll be looking at your various assignments. So this is your welcome. Here again is my contact information and technical support. This course overview should give you just kind of, again, a framework for what are we going to tackle this summer. There's a link to Google Classroom grades, and then here I've posted all the rubrics that I use to assess your work throughout the course, so you can scroll through those at your leisure as you're looking for them. And then I've divided it out over here in weeks. So for week 1, which is what we're in now, there's always going to be at the top the essential question that we're looking at, along with what are the course outcomes. What are the pieces that I hope at the end of that week you've gained and had exposure to. And again, I would always use that to think about how can you customize if you need other ways to demonstrate your ability to achieve these outcomes. This would be where we'll start that conversation. Excuse me, down below is sort of where your instructions for that week are. I try and post videos and tutorials, extra materials. And then typically each week I'm going to have something called Foundation. And with the Foundation, the expectation is that you will engage with all those readings or videos, or sometimes it's a kind of task-based piece. And then Explore typically is just some extra resources that I think are timely, well connected to what we're doing in the class, and sort of a place of inspiration. There's no expectation that you go through each one or that you'll be reporting out on each one in any way. Really just to provide you with a new set of readings, videos, ideas. And then at the bottom of each week, what I've got is what I've called Create Learning Evidence. And really that's where I'm looking for you to make sense of the course material. The assignments are listed here, how you submit, the due date for it, the points, and the rubric that I'm using, and then what course outcome it's aligned to. And then down below that is where I try and chunk that out in terms of the instructions that you've got. So that's sort of a typical week. And right now, if you were to go into week 2, you're going to see, or weeks 2, 3, and 4, you'll see the outcomes. You won't yet see those specific tasks yet because I'll start to open those up as we get underway. So in week 1, I've got instructions here for how you will get to the Google Classroom site. Once you are in, this is what it should look like. And you will see, if you haven't used Google Classroom before, it works on a stream and things move down the stream with the most recent thing at the top. So one of the first things that I'm asking you to do is to interact with this document. You'll open the document. You should be able to edit it right away. And you're simply going to find your name and share a photo with us so that we can have a little bit more of a picture of you. And then give us your top 5 list. And again, these things tell us things that inform you as a person, not just as a student. And so you can add those pieces. Also on the Google Stream, in the Google Classroom are your assignments. So here is your assignment 1, and then the template document. When you click on this, it will create a new Google Doc for you, and you'll submit that as a Google document back into the Google Classroom. If you have any questions about using Google Classroom, some of you are newer to it, feel free to reach out. But I also encourage you to take some ownership. Try and Google your problems and see if you can find resources. You always can add those to the stream as well by creating what's called an announcement. You'll be able to add that to the site. And you can share that if you find a cool tip or trick for others in class, but certainly don't beat your head against a wall. If I can support you in some way with finding and learning how to use the tools, please do reach out. Hopefully this has given you some context to starting the class. I'm really looking forward to working with you all this summer. We have a really interesting range of students in the program, or students in the course that I think will really enrich our conversations. So I'm looking forward to learning with you all, building our community, and class officially starts next Monday, and your first assignments are due the following Monday night, and then we'll get on to that Tuesday, Monday schedule. Thanks so much, and look forward to working with you.